So for a little while I've had these video cassettes lying about, and I haven't bought them because of what is on them. I've bought them because of what they actually are as regards manufacturers. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that that one is a Thorn E240, certainly not from this era anyway, because that cassette looks too modern. The Thorns of that era actually look like this. They have this wonderful sort of staccato type effect on them. And a lot of early video cassettes looked just like that, so it's quite nice to see one out in the wild. Although this one does have a Thorn label on it, it is possible that this is a genuine Thorn cassette, or whoever manufactured them. I think it was JVC actually made these, but I may be wrong. Now, seeing as I have them, let's pop them into this conveniently located video recorder, which I've used for an earlier experiment, and I may as well have a look and see what's on them. But first, let's drop them on the floor, because that's always a good thing to do. So let's start with this one. Oh, it's got the old BBC Two logo. And that's straight into Annie Hall, whatever that is. It's trying to track by the looks of it, so it's doing some auto tracking. So whatever this was recorded on, there is a noise bar along there. That could be because there is either there was a problem with the path, so that would be the exit post. So the exit post may have been incorrectly adjusted. The other thing that can cause that is degradation of the head drum itself. So if there is a sort of a nick on the head drum, that can cause that kind of effect. So that's what seems to be on that tape anyway. So let's hit rewind. And let's find its case. So it's this E180 case. There we go. There we are. So that one can go back into there. Next one is what I didn't think was a Thorn cassette, but it may actually be. So this one says it has something called Captain Beefheart on there. Captain Braveheart? I don't know. Let's see what's on there.
This is the story of Californian Van Fleet, who reinvented himself.
Quite a bit of artifacting on that one. That is, that's sorted itself out. You can see there some previously recorded program. I think that was recorded in standard play. It must have been recorded on a later machine because there's none of that artifacting that we saw. Captain Beefheart? Who's Captain Beefheart? A musician. Probably kick myself because I should probably know who that is, but I can't know every single musician there is in the whole world, unfortunately. Especially from the era that I like, so 70s and 80s. Anyway, let's pop that one into here. Then we have this one, which according to this has got a copy of The Fog on it, which is probably the Stephen King film. and looks like we're midway through that cassette, so we may as well go straight in and have a look. So hit play, and we seem to be in a cartoon of some description. Yeah, you can tell that's been wound into the middle for some time, because there was a little bit of noise around that sort of point. That's why you should always keep tapes rewound, so that you don't get sort of undue stress on the cassette itself. So that basically the cassette isn't constantly exposed to sort of dirt, dust, etc. Even though it's got the protective flap over it, stuff is still going to get into there. Whereas if you store it, they say either tails out, so fully wound to the end, or tails in, fully wound to the beginning, one of the two. You've only got the very first part of the tape exposed, and the rest of the tape is likely to be in sort of good order. So I'll put that on my list to rewind that one. I'll just eject it for now, and I'll put that to one side to rewind that in a minute. Right, we have another Thorn E180. There we go, look at that. Actually, let's have a look. So, yeah, made in West Germany. Doesn't say. So there is a possibility that that could be, although, hang on, E240. Just rub this away. Not sure if you can see that there, but that does say E240, so it is an E240 cassette. It is quite possible it is a Thorn E240. So this one has Blazing Saddles, which is a brilliant film, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and that is again halfway through. So let's pop it in, hit play. Oh yeah, this is Blazing Saddles. There's Cleveland Little. Yeah, very funny film. So that's another one I'll need to rewind. And what's next? We have Baron Munchausen and Madonna. Baron Munchausen's an interesting one because it wasn't really a success, unfortunately. I also think I may have found what was supposed to be in the Thorn E240 case, made in Japan. E240, Thorn labelling. Yeah, that one might be supposed to go into the Thorn case. Yeah, here we are, Adventures of Baron Munchausen. I have never seen this film. I do want to watch it though. And now it appears I have the opportunity to do so because I've got it on video cassette, so that's always handy. And that one was in this Memorex case. That one's apparently made in Holland. What I might do is put this one into here. Because this one's made in Japan, it may actually be a genuine Thorn cassette. So I can go into here. And then I've got two that I need to rewind, so I'll put those out of the way. What's next? Ooh, this one. So this reckons it's a JVC cassette. However, it's got that stippled effect, very like the Thorn cassettes I was looking at earlier, and Thorn labelling. So it's also made in West Germany, so this is probably a Thorn cassette. However, I think the JVC ones of this era also had very similar labelling. Yeah, that one is a Thorn, so that's another Thorn label underneath it. So that used to have Lenny Henry Christmas Show. It's now got a Passport to Pimlico and The Wicked Lady. I'm going to take these off because what will happen is they will get stuck in the machine. So I'll keep those, but I will not have them on the cassette. So that one has been stored nicely. Some machines will actually wind it all the way back so that the clear leader stops right at the point where it's detected. Yeah, Passport to Pimlico. So quite a nice old classic film. And that would also have The Wicked Lady on it as well. Black and white, always recorded at both on Betamax and VHS, always recorded at a higher number of horizontal lines. The only reason I can assume is because you didn't have the colour carrier to worry about, so less signal, higher number of lines possible, I guess. But black and white films always seem to come out quite well when recorded on VHS. And also Betamax. So let's wind that one back. And we'll need to just pop those there because I need to put those away. So let's just eject that one. We'll just move that out of the way. Next we have this one. Wizard of Oz, Brambley Hedge, Secret Garden, and that is on it's in a completely different case, but that's another Thorn cassette. Yeah, there you go, made in West Germany. That one's also partly the way through as well, and it's showing signs of a bit of mould, which, because I'm using this machine as my tape test machine, I'm not really too fussed about. Ideally I need to run this all the way through to the end and all the way through to the beginning. You have to be very careful when cleaning mould off of cassettes. Always do it in a well ventilated area, and I think you use 99% isopropyl alcohol. I've tried it myself in the past using it was actually on some Betamax cassettes I was cleaning. I used a Sony C9 that I'd Sony C5 that I'd stripped down to the bare bones, and I was just using the mechanism. So applying power to the motor to rewind and fast forward the cassette, and then applying sort of a cleaning solution via some tissues at the same time. Right, this one is an EMI cassette. Looks like it uses a very similar case shell to the earlier cassettes, because you've got the little bit there that would have had the manufacturer's country on it. So this is like sort of like a later version of those earlier Thorn cassettes, which is quite interesting. So somebody definitely had a preferred brand. So what's on here? Quite a lot by the looks of it. Let's pop it in. Have a look at the beginning. It says Red Dwarf and Blackadder 2 on the base of the cassette. Oh, brilliant. early episode of Red Dwarf, either season 1 or season 2. Let's see which one it is. Oh, brilliant! Future Echoes. That's a series 1 episode. That's the one. Oh yeah, that's where Rimmer reckons he's done the 4-minute mile. Stopped for a couple of minutes so I didn't look so shagged out to Lister. Oh, is this the one where he gives him a haircut? Yes! I feel like a man with this haircut. Yeah, and you'll probably get one looking like that too. Brilliant. Excellent. So yeah, early episodes of Red Dwarf on that one, which is nice. What do we have now? We've had a look at that one. We've had a look at this one. Oops. There you go. Right, Monty Python and Holy Grail and Brazil. I think Brazil was another. It wasn't a Python film, but I think it was with some of the same people, sort of Terry Gilliam, etc. Oh yeah, this was from.
It's time for that lovely Michael Palin. Oh, I love Michael Palin. Oh yes, he's lovely.
Yeah, this. Oh, I remember this. This was in the 90s. They had this sort of Monty Python appreciation thing, and they played a lot of the films, showed a lot of the shows, all of that sort of business. Oh yeah, that was the scene where he was the milkman and he gets, yeah, the seduced milkman. Yeah, and I think they showed Holy Grail after that. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. That's actually quite nice to have that on tape because that was quite amusing. The actual show that was on before, it's like a celebration of Monty Python's Flying Circus, or as they call it in America, Monty Python. Out you come, cassette. There you go. I'll add that to the list. And what's this one? The final one. Romance in the Stone on a Sky brand cassette. Very similar shell to that Thorn EMI one, funnily enough. You've even got the little bit there where you have the would have had the manufacturer's country. There is every possibility that is actually an EMI cassette, just in a Sky case. Oh, brilliant! Oh, that's a shame. There was a tiny little bit of keeping up appearances. Roger, yeah, Romance in the Stone. Brilliant stuff. This is interesting actually, because recorded off the TV, if you had a particularly good signal, you actually got a better quality picture than you would have with a bought from the shop cassette. Now this one is X-Rental big box cassette of Terminator 2, I think. So let's have a look at what that's like. These X-Rental ones are always sought after, partly because you've got the bigger box art, but also because they're a higher quality recording than your sort of typical shop bought copies. So let's pop this in and see if it still works. Again, that same moulding. I don't know why I'm getting so excited about bloody cassette mouldings. I really do lead quite a sad life. That should autoplay because it's yeah, you can tell that's yeah, you can tell that's a good quality copy. Picture's very good. And it's like it's been recorded directly on your machine. Whereas a lot of the mass-produced ones, I think they use high-speed duplicate, well, you certainly used high-speed duplication machines. So you were getting what I can only sort of describe as 1.5 generation. So it wasn't quite as bad as second generation, but it was no way as good as first generation. So that's why people want to try and get the large big box copies of films, because they are, as you can pretty sort of tell, generally a lot better. The problem is, as is the way of things these days, something which not so long ago people would have just been throwing into the bin are now going for really sort of quite hefty sums, especially if it is a pre-certificate. This one obviously isn't a pre-certificate because it's Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but older pre-certificate films, some of them go for hundreds, and you're thinking, but why? But then again, yeah, if somebody's willing to pay it, then you've got yourself a market immediately. This one's actually a later case. It doesn't have the combined VHS Video 2000 Betamax options that a lot of these earlier cases had. So I've got a nice Guild logo, and you can see there VHS as well. And I think that's fully rewound. That's a very fast rewind. That has fully, yeah, there you go. That's fully rewound. Perfect. That can go and sit in my collection. Excellent stuff. Anyway, that was a quick look through a selection of video cassettes that I had. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.